Guys, welcome back. Another little tutorial video for you guys. Today what we're here for is the Titanfall C.A.R SMG conversion that I made from a Nerf rival series gun. So if you've played the game Titanfall, this may look a little bit familiar. I went off of Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2 off of this little figure C.A.R SMG. As you'll notice, it's not exactly the same. The color scheme is different, and the slot position is different on the barrel there. You know, just little differences. But going off of the game, this is you know, kind of the paint scheme that you see there, and I added this emblem, which I believe is not in the Titanfall 2 SMG, but it is on Titanfall 1, which I've never played, by the way. I've never played Titanfall, the original Titanfall, because I don't have an Xbox. I've been a fan of the design of all the characters since that game came out, so I was really looking forward to it on the PS4. Now the Titanfall 2 came out, and I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the game very much. I think it's a great shooter. It's a really fast-paced, which I love, and I'm not super good at it, but I still enjoy it a lot. I used to love Bionic Commando, so the fact that it has a grapple cable and you can just fly across levels like Spider-Man is great for me. A few of the things that I made with this, I obviously added that red dot scope, which is not, it doesn't come with the gun. Nerf, I don't think it's gonna pick it up on the camera. And then I added this front grip section here, which is kind of cool because it extends like that, and then it kind of goes back, retracts, and then goes into the gun like this. So I got that off of eBay, painted it so that it would match the rest of the paint job, and I'll be showing you guys what paints I used on this, so you can do it yourself as well if you want to emulate this same paint job, or if you want to do just really any design that you want to do on a Nerf gun. I'll just show you the basic steps that it takes paint wise. First thing you do is sand off where you would have the big old Nerf logo or name of the gun or whatever the case may be. You want to sand that off with if you have a Dremel. If you don't have a Dremel, then you're gonna spend a lot of time just sanding down with sandpaper, but a sander, a Dremel, whatever you can get your hands on is pretty good, and that should take it right off. If you want it to look pretty, then you're gonna want to add a little bit of Bondo and then sanding, Bondo sanding or primer, Sanibel primer. But with me, I wanted to go battle damage, as I usually do with weapons or costumes. So I didn't mind, you know, scratch marks too much. And then I went in with paint, metallic paint. So that's the first step. Once you sand that off, what you want to do is get yourself a nice primer. I use this stuff right here, Rust-Oleum Sanibel primer. So you want to go over the entire gun or prop with this first. You want to do a couple coats, and then once it's nice and dry, you want to let at least 24 hours for it to dry. I went in with some Krylon, and you usually don't want to like mix and match brands too much if you can avoid it, but that's what I had and I lucked out. I didn't get any weird reactions. I usually don't when I do Rust-Oleum and Krylon, but if you're using a particular brand of paint and you can stick with the same brand of paint throughout the process, it's better. This is just a satin black, so I did that, and then after that I went in with a little bit of a Krylon. It's kind of like a brushed steel. Want to tape off and mask off the areas that you're going to want to start laying your paint design on. Alright, so now I'm applying the fast mask with a brush just in all those little cavities, as well as starting to put in some just some battle damage areas. Yep. So now I just created this very simple stencil on some masking tape. I'm going to use the X-Acto to cut it up and put it on the gun. And I'm losing light, obviously. So there it is. There's your poor man's decal. It's actually the inverse. and it's going to be white as well as the rest of this. But if you ever need a decal, you can just do like an inverted stencil type for paint. So that's going to be that right there. The areas that I wanted to paint white with this Rust-Oleum again, and this is heirloom white and like an off-white, like eggshell white satin finish. So I was sticking with matte or satin paints until I got to the orange. Rust-Oleum gloss real orange. Alright, so after I'm done with all of those layers of paint, I started taking my masking tape off. Alright guys, so now that I've taken away all the tape and I've done a little bit of sanding, I took away the mask, the fast mask. I'm left, you know, with things like this where the paint below is showing through, but I'm still gonna go in and color with some testers, enamels, silver. Use some gunmetal gray with a brush and sponge to just kind of, you know how this is all just like flat black right now. I gotta pretty much give it a little more texture. Same with the barrel here, and so I'm gonna use a little bit of not an acrylic but more of an oil based paint. So I really like the way that this gives it that damaged look too. I got a little bit of thinner here just for the paints because I haven't used these in a while, and yeah, so not sure. You don't need too much paint, it's just little accents. I feel like Bob Ross right now because this is so calming to me. And then if you want to go in and airbrush like I did, it kind of like takes it to another level. I'm using some Createx paints for this project. Opaque black, you know, a little bit of white. There's my white right here, which is a different brand. And I'm using this high performance reducer for the first time. I usually use just water, a little bit of Windex, but they recommended this stuff at the airbrush store, which is West Coast or West, yeah, I think it's like West Coast Airbrush or something like that in Anaheim. Pretty awesome store if you guys are ever in need of airbrush supplies. So going back to here, I kind of cleaned out the overspray a little bit. You know, as we're going for a damaged effect or like a burning effect, it's not like that big of a deal. If you get a little bit of overspray, you can always clean that out. But the idea is to make it not absolutely completely black. You want a little bit of a smoky effect to it. So I'm getting a little bit of drip. I might need to reduce the pressure on the compressor, but you guys kind of get the idea here, right? You want to get that little burning effect. And it's the kind of thing where less is more. You don't need to go super heavy with it. You don't want it to look like it's intentional, you know, like heavy paint. You want it to look more like a burning, shady effect. And then you also want to leave that, a little bit of that silver in there, just for added dimension. So the airbrush is a really nice way to kind of blend in paint where you might have done, you know, where you were masking off, and then you're getting, really shows kind of the area where the tape used to be. This is a great way. I'm not even getting any in the shot. So a great way to just kind of blend areas like that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal or show you guys the finished product. Almost finished. It still needs minor cleaning up and sealing. But again, reference, and here we go. So I'll just take you through the gun. As I was painting this, I was trying to show you guys my techniques and everything. But it's a little bit tricky to paint as you're trying to record and also hold a specific shot of a specific area that you're trying to show. I was just joking on Instagram just now that Steve Wang, as he was painting the Predator, you might have seen the picture where he's holding this dumbbell and he's painting, and he looks so calm and so chill. Holding a dumbbell, I probably wouldn't be able to hold with my two arms right now. And he's holding it no problem as he's painting with the airbrush. I'm painting and I'm just holding a cell phone and trying to hold a shot and struggling. But anyways, here you go. You can see all the accents, all the little different paint layers. I'm not sure if the camera picks up the sheen. See all that battle damage. Alright guys, for this last part, I'm going to be using some Krylon top coat. It's a clear coat and it's a matte finish. Alright, so basically just like you saw, you want to go still like a thin coat. You don't want to lay it on too thick and then have it drip. You know, you just want to create a layer of protection on your paint, you know, something to help, you know, that airbrush set, you know, but don't, you know, don't go too close and like spray real thick, because then you're going to get some drip and then you're going to have to like sand down and start all over again. You don't want to do that. All right, so I'm going to wait a little bit and then it'll be good to start playing with.
Don't talk the evil that men do. I'm lost in the mental. I am so don't talk the evil that men do. I'm lost in the mental. I am so don't talk the evil that men do. I'm lost in the mental. I am so
So there it is, guys. That's all the materials that you're gonna need. Those are the steps, and then at the end you should have yourself a crazy ass C.A.R SMG from the game Titanfall. Maybe whatever you guys want to turn this into. So crazy size, you know, crazy looking gun. It's huge, but it works perfectly because the helmet is also pretty big. So if you guys want to do one like this, just follow the steps. Email me if you have any questions. But before we wrap up this video, I'm pretty sure you guys want to see it in action, right? Because it's a Nerf gun after all, and it does work. It was non-working when I got it, but I fixed it. I painted the, you know, the clip here, just to kind of go with the gun. Didn't go too detailed with that, but it takes these little foam pellets. So let's load it up and try it out. So once you load up this thing with the batteries, it really adds some good weight to it. It makes it feel like a real rifle. This loads up like this, I think.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Anyways, let's try it out. It's really cool because you can load up a bunch of pellets and there's an accelerator. You hear that? Almost like those guns in the game where you kind of have to like charge it up. So I'm gonna try to hit that little car.
Now let's see if I can hit any of those little baby toys while wearing the helmet. Answer is probably gonna be no.
So good luck to you guys. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again in the next video. And Merry Christmas. I hope you guys get to spend it with the ones you love. Have a great ending to this crazy year, and hopefully a good beginning and start to 2017. So let's do it together, guys. Let's start loving each other again, because it's been a crazy last couple months in this year of 2016. So I'm excited for 2017. I want to be optimistic for what it'll bring. 2016 was crazy. It was crazy good, and then it was crazy bad, and it was crazy good again, crazy bad. So such is life. So let's continue living, and let's continue loving each other, and let's continue making stuff together. All right? Peace.